Hey y'all, I'm Jacqueline. Welcome back to my kitchen. This is Lowcarblish, the channel where we make low carb versions of our favorite high carb foods, try to reduce our blood sugars and control type 2 diabetes. Today we are going to be making 3 easy sauces that are low carb and delicious, and we're going to call this part of our Let's Get Saucy series. Today we're going to make my creamy lime dill sauce. We're making a Chick-fil-A mock sauce, and you guys, this recipe for this is spot on. And we're making a buffalo wing sauce. So if you have just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I hope that you'll stick around for some of the recipes and check out some of the other videos of low carb foods that we've got here to offer. You'll also find some helpful links below to take you to other places to help you get some more information about controlling your type 2. So let's get started, and we are going to be making 3 saucy sauces today. Okay y'all, so we're going to make the first sauce. This is so easy and so delicious, you're not going to believe how good this is. I'm starting off with 1/4 cup of sour cream, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. I've got 1/4 teaspoon of pink salt, 1/4 teaspoon of coriander, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, and 1 teaspoon of dill, and that's it. And so we're going to stir all this up together. I'm going to put the mayonnaise and the sour cream in first. I've already made this a couple times, and Jenny loved it, and one of my other friends that tried it loved it, so I think it's a hit, y'all. I always love anything with lime. I'm a lime girl. If you wanted to substitute lemon for this, it would work just as well. I just prefer lime, so that's what I'm using. So I'm going to stir the mayo and the sour cream up together a little bit here. And then I'm going to add my dill in. And it may look like a lot of dill when you're stirring it in, but trust me, when you get it mixed in with all this creamy goodness, it's not too much. It's just right. Alright, and then a little bit of coriander. And the coriander just adds a little sweetness to it, so that the lime juice is not overpowering, just like the lemon juice wouldn't be if you were using lemon juice instead of lime juice. It just tones it down just a little bit and gives it kind of a sweet, nutty tinge to it. Then I'm going to add my salt in. And stir really well. And then I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of lime juice. And the lime juice is going to thin this down to give it a thin sauce consistency instead of like a dip. And this is really, really good. We had it when Jenny was here. I made it, and I had made some of my rustic crackers, and there's a recipe in the video lineup for that if you've never seen it before. But I had made some of the rustic crackers, and we had some of that on those. And then I also had gotten some chicken wings. And so we tried all 3 of these sauces on chicken wings, and it was really good with them too. And this particular sauce tonight, I'm going to have a piece of cod for my dinner, and I'm going to use some of this sauce on my cod. And so just that fast, this has come together, and I'll let y'all see kind of the consistency that it is. So I'm going to put this in the presentation bowls, and then we'll get cleaned up and we'll do the next one, and then the last one is going to be the buffalo wings recipe, and in just a minute when I get this cleaned up, we'll be making the Chick-fil-A one. We'll be right back. Okay y'all, so now we're going to do the second sauce, and like I told you, it's a Chick-fil-A sauce copycat, and it is spot on. I was so happy when I made this and it tasted the way it tasted, and I was like, Jenny, try this and tell me what you think, because I sometimes like what I make and then other people might not, and so I always like to try it out with several people before I put it out here for you guys to try. And she was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. So I think if you are a fan of Chick-fil-A sauce and you've been kind of missing that because we can't really eat that stuff, I think you're going to love this recipe. And it is another super simple recipe. So what I'm going to do is I've got a half a cup of mayonnaise here, and I use Duke's, but you know, you do you, boo-boo. Whatever mayonnaise you have and you like, that's what you roll with. And I did want to tell you guys that with this recipe, I'm using the G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce, and I've got the sweet and spicy. That's just my favorite flavor. It just happens to work really well with this recipe. But if you have another low-carb barbecue recipe that you enjoy, try that because it'll probably work just as well. So I've got 2 tablespoons of that. And as usual, don't worry, I'm going to put all the macros and everything in the description below with the recipe. And then the other thing that I'm going to put in here is some of this Wholesome Yum keto syrup. And I usually have to order this out off of Amazon because I can't find it in any of the stores in my neighborhood. And Amazon's been out of it for like the last 3 or 4 weeks. So I went onto their website and just ordered directly from the company. The price was the same. They had it in stock and they got it to me in like 3 days. So if you have never used this, I really highly recommend it. It helps your sauces be smooth and creamy, and you don't get the grit that you get sometimes when you use the powdered sweeteners. And it's a 0 calorie, 0 carb, simple syrup made with allulose, erythritol, and monk fruit. And it is really good, and it works really well in so many recipes. Excuse me. So if you want to try it, you might want to go to their website to try to get it. And I'll leave the link down to that below. And I'm not getting paid. They don't pay me anything, but I just want you guys to have the information on where to get it so you can make this if you can't find it at your store. And then the other thing I'm putting in here is 2 teaspoons of brown mustard. And I like to use Golden's, but I couldn't find it this week. So I got the Publix brand gold mustard, and it's great. I like it just as much. And then the last thing I'm putting in is 2 tablespoons of that simple syrup that I just showed you. And we are going to stir this up, and it is going to be done, and it's going to be delicious. So it's just stir, stir, stir. Y'all, don't you love recipes where they just come together so easy, especially on nights when you got to work? I know when I've got a whole lot of stuff going on, I am all about the easy, as y'all know. And this is a new recipe that I'm going to add to my food prep, and probably like once or twice a month have some of this sauce on chicken or beef. This would really, the Chick-fil-A sauce, I really like it on a lot of things. I think it would be good on beef. I haven't tried it on beef yet, but I think it would be good on beef. And I feel like it would be really good on, sometimes I'll like make a broccoli cauliflower mix, and I'll put a little bit of onion in there, and I feel like it would be good with that as well. And just that fast, we're done. And y'all look at that. Look how creamy that is. And it is so close to the real deal, you won't believe it. So I'm going to put this one in the presentation bowl, and then I'll be back and we'll do the buffalo wings, because we've got to do that one at the stove. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, y'all, so we're at the stove and we're getting ready to make the buffalo wing sauce. And y'all are not going to believe how easy this is. I couldn't believe when I started researching this stuff how easy it is to make. Even the high carb versions of this are not hard to do at all. So a couple of y'all wanted like a sticky buffalo sauce that wasn't too sticky, which that kind of cracks me up, but I know what you're talking about. And so I'm putting I've got 1/4 of a cup of the hot sauce in here, and any hot sauce that you like will work. And then I've got 2 tablespoons of the simple syrup, and we're going to heat this up. And I've got my eye on medium heat here, and we're just going to heat this up together until it starts to thicken up some. And if you like your sauce a little bit sweeter, you can put a couple more tablespoons of the simple syrup in here. I kind of like the buffalo flavor, and so I just use the 2 tablespoons, but it's not going to hurt a thing if you want to add a little bit more of the simple syrup to get more of a sticky sweet sauce for your wings. And speaking of wings, have y'all seen the prices of wings lately? Oh my gosh. I bought some at Publix the other day that they cook there, you know, with no breading or anything on them. And that was not too bad, but the bags of wings that they're selling at the grocery store, here in Georgia, they're anywhere from $27 to $32 for a bag of wings. So I'm just curious if in your area, if you've seen them or bought them lately, what are they going for in your area? Because I was just like shocked when I saw it, because I don't buy wings that often. And so it's probably been a good year or two since I've even bought any. And so I was really surprised at that price. So I'm just curious about y'all's area and if y'all buy them that often or whatever. So you're starting to see we're getting bubbles here on the sauce, and that's what we're looking for. We don't want to cook this down to where it's so thick that it's like a syrup. You want it to have a little bit of a cling, but you don't want it so thick that it's almost like a barbecue sauce. I think if you cook it down that far, that the flavor would probably be a little bit overpowering. So if you want it stickier, just put a little more syrup in there instead of reducing it down until your hot sauce is like really over flavorful. Because you cook some of that water down out of your hot sauce and it really intensifies that vinegar flavor that's in the hot sauce. Okay, so now that it's thickening up on me, and you can see it's coating the back of my spatula, it's still going to drip off, which is what we're looking for. You want it to, you know, be a little drippy, but it's coating the back of my spatula, so that's what we're looking for. So after that happens, I'm going to put in a tablespoon of butter. And what this is going to do is it's going to add a creaminess to the sauce, and the fat in the butter is going to mellow out the flavor some. And it's very close to the flavors that you get with regular buffalo wing sauces. But y'all, I'm going to tell you something. When I was researching how to do this, I was so surprised, and I tried a couple of the recipes that people had put out for regular buffalo sauce just to see how they were. And some of the recipes call for like 6 to 10 tablespoons of butter. And then when you get to the end of the recipe and you pour it off in a bowl, you've got all this fat just comes to the top, and it's just like a big puddle of grease. And I mean, that's not very appetizing. So I actually made one of those recipes like that and put the sauce in the refrigerator to try to get some of that fat to come up to the top so I could remove it. And y'all, the next day when I went in there to take it off, there was this thick of just butter that had risen to the top of the recipe. So that's just way too much butter, and we don't need that much fat in our sauces. So this sauce works out really well. It uses a tablespoon of butter, and it's enough to, you know, tamp the flavor down and add that little creamy taste to it that people like, but without you sitting with a, you know, thing full of grease sitting on the top of your sauce. And we're done, y'all. It's just that easy and just that fast. So I'm going to put this one in the presentation bowl, and then when we come back, we'll be doing some taste tests. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, y'all, so I've got the 3 sauces that we made in the presentation bowls. And I'm just going to put 1 dollop of sauce on each one of these. I'm not eating this tonight because, like I said, I made a piece of cod, but I just wanted y'all to see how lovely and delicious this looks on the chicken wings. And trust me, y'all, it is delicious. And I'll have all the macros down for all of these in the description. But if you are just cooking for you or 1 or 2 people, all of this makes more than enough. And you can keep these in the refrigerator up to a week and they should be fine. So here are the wings with all the different sauces on it. We've got the creamy lemon dill, or creamy lime dill, the Chick-fil-A mock sauce, and the buffalo sauce. So I hope you guys will give this a try. It adds so much flavor to our diet when we can find low carb sauces and dips that we can have. And you know, we're not going to eat them every day, but it's nice to have once in a while to enhance different things that we're eating. Like I said, the lime dill I'm going to have on my cod tonight. So I hope you guys will give it a try. I hope that you have a wonderful week. If you would, hit that like button for me because it does help people to find my channel that have just been diagnosed. If you're not subscribed, I would appreciate it if you would consider subscribing. And those of you that are subscribed and support me in my channel, I just want you to know that I love you guys and I appreciate your support so very much. Have a fantastic week and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.